It's time to get green fingered and finally plant up that Zoa garden. I'm also going to give you an update on the OG Holy Grail torch coral that I managed to smash to bits in my previous video. We're going to get the 4th line of the D&D doser up and running, and there's been some coral warfare in this tiny little nano. I hope you've got your brew and your biscuit ready. It's going to be a big one. Let's roll those titles. Now then, welcome back to the channel of Jay's Real Reef UK and the journey of this little Red Sea Max Nano. The video is action packed and we're doing so well because we've managed to get 2 videos out in a single week. We are on a roll and hopefully I can keep this low quality content on reefing coming over the next few weeks whilst I'm on holiday. Now this video is action packed, we've got loads to get through and we're going to start with planting up our Zoa garden. Now many of you who watch this channel have probably got your Zoa gardens absolutely spot on. Every reef tank should have a Zoa garden and it's all about adding colour and variation and different species onto an area of rockwork. And the beauty of Zoa gardens is they don't mind different lighting and also variations in flow. They can pretty much grow anywhere in a reef tank, so that's why they're a great addition. Now, under pressure from people that follow this channel and the live stream, people say that we need to get adding to our Zoa garden. We started the Zoa garden back in December 2020 when a kind viewer called Matt Wyatt donated £70 to my little boy to buy some Zoas for his garden, and he chose some Rasta Zoas, some Utter Chaos Zoas and some Rainbow Zoas, but that ain't enough. We're going to have to add some more. So I've been shopping at blueoceancorals.com. There's a logo somewhere, hopefully there. Ocean Corals, Blue Ocean Corals, no, Ocean Blue Corals. oceanbluecorals.com. Anyway, it's on the screen, you can see it. And we've been adding to our Zoa garden. My wife chose some, my son chose some, and I chose most. 7 new frags. Let's have a look. So here is my delivery from oceanbluecorals.co.uk. Now I've been looking for some Zoas for quite a while, but I've never found anywhere in the UK that has Zoas in such abundance and variation, colour and also healthy frag plugs. I always look at the frag plugs just to see, you know, what you're potentially bringing into your tank. So these do look good. I've never purchased them from before and I've bought every single coral in this box. I know us YouTubers have a reputation for not buying stuff, but I've bought every single thing in that little Red Sea Max Nano and that's the way I want to keep it. In the box we should have 7 Zoas, and I'll put on screen now which ones I've bought. So I've got some Spitfire Zoas, some Rainbow Hornets, some Orange Mandarins, a WWC Taser Zoa, some Rasta Cousins, some BBEBs, which I can't say what they are on this family channel, but those that know, and some Pink Auroras. So let's not delay, let's have a look in this box and see what goodies we've got in here. Oh my god, this is ace. I've never had so many corals in a single delivery. Now, despite what I said on the previous clip about getting nothing for free as a YouTuber, it appears that I do. So I've paid for 7 different frags of Zoas, and actually I've got 8 in here. So a huge thank you. Maybe it's because I bought so many. So it came all wrapped up, nothing unusual there, and each one comes in its own little. Oh, that's quite good. How each one's labelled, that's good, because when I'm planning out getting the different colour contrasts, I now know which one is which. That's good. Comes a little piece of carbon, and they are looking really good. Now my big fear here is I've actually ordered too many because I've only got a Peninsula piece of rod, but can you have too many corals, reefers? I'm sure we can squeeze them in to this little nano somewhere. Right, let's get them out, let's get them dipped with some Coral RX and start putting these onto the reef. So here they are, Ocean Blue Corals. There's the Zoas. As I was getting them out, I've actually created a little map just so I know which one is which, but they are looking super healthy. So the frag plugs look very clean. In fact, many of the frag plugs, I hope you're getting this on camera, do have coralline algae, which is a great thing to transport into your tank as well. So really nice clean frag plugs. And in terms of the price that I've paid, so for many of them I've paid for like 2 or 3 heads, but then you kind of get in your 4th head there as well, a smaller one, so that's kind of another little freebie as well. Talking of freebies, here is the additional one called Eagle Eyes Zoa. It's looking very, very happy in there, look, already opened up. So this is the one that I didn't know that I've got, so big thank you to Ocean Blue Corals, and that is the Eagle Eye. That's stunning. What a little freebie to pick up there, look. Yeah, that's going to look really good as well in the tank. So we're going to get them dipped in a little bit of Coral RX. That's my turkey baster. I just jet them down and just get them all cleaned up, because you do have to dip your zoas before you put them in. But they are looking absolutely superb, and with the map I can make sure that I put them next to contrasting colours on the scape. So let me get them dipped and I'll get back to you. Now, in the background is my next new bit of kit. So as I was in Aldi, you know, shopping for bread and milk, in the middle aisle of Aldi there was this kind of cheap version of a Dremel. Now, you know I hate frag plugs, I can't stand them, and that was one of the reasons why I've damaged my torch coral that I got last week. So I'm going to use, what could go wrong here? I'm going to use the Chinese version of Dremel called the Ferex, whatever it is, rotary tool. $19.99 from the middle aisle. It comes with a cutting blade, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to cut down these frag plugs so that they are pretty much just around the edge of the zoas, because I've asked a few reefers, should I try and take them off the frag plug and just stick them onto the rock, and everybody's saying no, don't do that, you'll end up killing them. So keep them on the plugs, but you can try and reduce the size of the plugs. Now, you can use bone cutters, you can use coral cutters, but I'm going to use the Aldi Special $19.99 Dremel. So we've nipped out to the garden, just sat on the deck in here. It's about 24 degrees, so I thought I'd do this outside because it could get a bit messy doing the cutting. I've already cut 2 of them off. They are really good quality frag plugs, so they're actually ceramic, so they are really, really strong. But we're going to get the rest of them off and then get them cut and get them in the tank. Right, here we go. We are back inside after cutting off 7 of the 8 Zoa frag bases. The reason why we've only done 7, not 8, is the 1999 Aldi Dremel copy has actually broken on the last one, so we can't do that one. But they're all fragged up, they're all nice and flat now, so we can actually fix them to the scape much easier. I've got my map, I've also got my instant coral gum, so we're ready to get planting up the garden. So, you ready? With our reef tanks, one of the beauties of them is taking good quality pictures. So many of us like to post on Facebook and Instagram and show our friends and family, just share our reef tanks. So one part of that is taking a good picture, and with good pictures you need a bit of decent lighting. So I've already got a few lighting effects on my little Red Sea Max Nano. So for all my photos on Instagram, I use a 2018 Google Pixel 2, which is really old, but it takes a good quality picture, and the reason why I haven't upgraded is because I'm too tight to have a contract. So yeah, that's what I use for my pictures. But a lot of the pictures is to do with your reef lighting, and obviously your lighting around your tank, I think anyway. So let's get on to this, let's get this out of the box and have a little look. So I picked this up from Amazon, about £13, and it's a 3-colour light bar, and hopefully it will sit behind, as I say, that section of the reef tank. It's not very exciting, is it really, but let's try and get into it. It's well wrapped anyway. Sit down that section of the reef tank and just create a kind of sunrise, sunset effect, hopefully, behind the back of the white acetate. So there it is, comes with a little bit of instructions. Let's chuck that on there. So it comes with some stickies and some magnets, so I can stick it down at the base. I've got to find the best position for it, and it's about 30 centimetres long, which is ideal, so it won't poke out the edge of the reef tank. It can sit behind the white. It'll cast the light up behind that white acetate, and it should look pretty good. It's USB, so if you've got a USB socket, it works quite well, obviously. If not, you have to buy a plug. But we'll get it on, and we'll see what it looks like. See if it's worth the 12 quid that I paid. So I've just set it up behind the reef tank. You can see it comes with little magnetic discs that you can just stick to your wall, and then it comes with these clips, these magnetic clips as well. So you can position it on there. I've left the controller at a point where it's quite accessible, and then that is in. So I've put it about 10 centimetres above the base of the tank. It kind of just fitting behind the rockscape, and already, even though it's a really bright sunny day outside, as you can tell, if you look round here, you're already starting to get on that orange amber setting a nice, see that glow? So at night, that kind of orange glow sheen will shine up the back, and I can change it to white or that bright blue white, and I reckon the effects here are going to be absolutely stunning. But you can already see down that bottom corner that kind of orangey light that's giving off on the back of the whiteboard. I think that's going to be a really cool effect, so I'm excited to see what that looks like tonight. Again, some of you might think, well, that's not proper reefing, but it's not proper reefing. It's about taking good pictures though of your reef with some cool lighting effects. So there you go, that might be for you, might not be, but I think it's going to look pretty cool. Fish or corals? You tend to be either one, and I started out being fish, but now the corals are taking over, and I've got over 25 corals in this little Red Sea Max Nano. It's going to get busy. It's going to get busy over the next few months as they grow out. But one thing that's important with these little underwater gardens is making sure that they get the right nutrition and the right food for your corals, so you get that beautiful coloration and you get that nice growth. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add our fourth dosing line. I'm going to set up the fourth dosing line. So we're back down in what I call the engine room, which is the little cupboard. There's the ATO and all the other bits and all the test kits and bits and bobs. But here is my doser. Or you can see as well, I plugged that new light that I plugged in at the back. That's the last socket now, so I'm really hoping that I don't need another socket, because we're actually full to the brim. So yeah, going back to the doser, so I have a standard P4 D&D H2O doser, and it's 4 lines, and I use currently just 3 of them. So I use alkalinity Red Sea, calcium Red Sea, and magnesium. If you follow the channel, you probably know all about what I use, but I've got a spare one. Now originally when I set up the tank, I was saving this one for NOPOX, because just in case I had a kind of nitrate or phosphate spike, I thought I might need some of that. But I'm going to use now the 4th line for something that's become very recommended to me, and I've heard a few people talking about it, some coral food. So I'm going to use this. This is called Reef's Elements Amino Plus Coral Food. So the beauty of this little product is you don't need to refrigerate it, so I can just park it on the shelf there. I've put it so I can get to it, so I can see the levels quite easily, and yeah, ready to dose. So when you're dosing with the D&D doser, you do need to prime the line, make sure there's fluid in that red line, and then you need to calibrate the doser. So this is the current dosing plan for my 75 litre little Red Sea Max Nano. We've dialed it all in. There's the coral food, so I'm dosing 0.8 ml per day. They're all daily doses, these are. There's my magnesium at 0.5 ml per day. Calcium is 1.8 ml per day, and alkalinity is 3.9 ml per day. Now these doses, don't just pick these doses up for your Red Sea Max Nano and put them into your doser. Every tank is different, so when you start to dose something, you have to do regular testing after that point to make sure you're not overdosing the tank or even underdosing. So when I added the alkalinity, I do my alkalinity checks and then kind of dial in the numbers that I want, and that's what the dosing does. So now I've added coral food, there is a little danger that we might get a spike in nitrates and phosphates. so I need to really check those over the next few weeks, and if it starts to increase, I'm overdosing the food and I need to dial it back down again. So you do have to dial these in and get it right for your little ecosystem. But the dosing, I think, is really important. I think it's helped me with being a beginner with the success of the tank, because all the corals are taking out of the water, and if you're having to wait for the weekly or bi-weekly water change for the replenishment, it can be a bit of a stress on the corals. Whereas if you've got little doses being dripped in every day, it kind of keeps the parameters, the calcium, alkalinity, magnesium parameters, nice and stable. And in this hobby, it's all about stability. So if you made it this far, you're probably waiting for this next little update on the OG Holy Grail torch coral that I bought from Northern Reefer last week. I'm really sorry about the footage and the coverage of what I did to the torch coral, but at the time my head was falling off, and I thought that I was in a really bad way with this coral. It's a very expensive coral, and I didn't want to kill it. But here it is at the moment. So this is exactly 7 days after the accident. I have got some pictures that I'm just going to bob up on screen now, so you can see what the skeleton looks like. But basically at the time it looked like a broken vase, and I was having to piece together 3 or 4 bits of skeleton using the reef glue. I then dipped it for half an hour in Seachem Reef Dip, the iodine reef dip, to help with any healing process, and then I fixed it onto the scape using the putty. Now I know what you're going to say now, that anemone looks very close. It is actually still about 4 inches away from it, so it's there's plenty of space there for it to move around. Here is the OG Holy Grail. This is non-filtered, so hopefully you're getting some of the coloration there. But it seems super happy, and I think we're kind of getting out of the woods with it, but it's an absolutely stunning coral. And my little Blenny, my little tail spot Blenny, thinks it's wonderful. He always sits under the Holy Grail torch coral. Now, to follow the journey of the Zoa Garden, just keep watching and we'll keep a little eye out on it. But I just want to say, this company is not on the UK reefing map. If you haven't seen the UK reefing map, check it out in the description. There's a link below of recommended places to buy from. This is my next nomination for the reefing map. The Zoas here, if you're after Zoas, I don't think there's a better place in the UK to try and pick up a huge array of really healthy, beautiful Zoas. The frag plugs were spotless. In fact, they brought so much coralline in as well. It's just a nice little addition to the tank. So go and check them out. I looked at the website this morning and a lot of the Zoas now are sold out. So you do have to be quick here, but they are beautiful. Go and check out the website right now, Ocean Blue Corals. If you're in the market for some nice Zoas, starting from £10, £10 a frag. So the Zoa Garden is planted up. The Resurrection coral, or should I say the OG torch coral, looks like it's on the road to survival, but there's so much more to do. I'm going to add a Gorgonian tree, photosynthetic. I'd like to add a Pikachu SPS coral and a really nice button scolly. After watching Reef Dork's live stream, I'm also thinking about adding another fish, which is a Royal Grammer. Huge, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everybody who watched the last video, gave it a thumbs up and subscribed. It really does help. Check out our live stream on Friday night over at Fish Palace. There is a link in the description. But for now, ladies and gents, I don't want to take any more of your time up. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.